There we go. Let me know if you can hear me now. But so glad to be with you for another week. For those of you that are new, I'm Tim Fortescue, an IFS practitioner specializing in spiritual growth and healing, whether you're healing from religious trauma or seeking guidance on your journey. Just so grateful to be able to walk alongside. And so, as we go throughout our time today, we will spend about 15, 20 minutes and I'll guide you in a meditation. Welcome, Lynn. So glad that you're here. I'll guide you in a meditation, then I'll take your questions at the end. So feel free to put them in the chat. And if you're watching a recording, put your questions into and know that I will continue to engage in that chat throughout the week, or I'll bring those questions back next week. If you find this helpful, I'd love for you to share it with others who might benefit and help them find this content and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And in order to comment, I've set a uh, stipulation that you have to be a subscriber for at least 5 minutes. And so if you want to ask a question at the end, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and would love here for you to subscribe anyway and like this video because it helps YouTube kind of know that we're here and shares that with others too. If you're new to IFS, you can visit exploreifs.com to learn more. And while you're there, I encourage you to sign up for my free IFS guided meditations. And that'll also get you added to my weekly email list for resources to support you on your parts work journey. And if you have questions, reach out anytime. Send me an email to tim@faithfullygrowing.com. I'm here to help however I can. And if you're ready to dive deeper, you can join the Faithfully Growing community by clicking the top banner of the website, exploreifs.com. And that gives you an opportunity. I hold a weekly drop in on Thursdays at noon, US Chicago time, to meet with me and others on the parts work journey to ask your questions in person. And also, there's a Parts Pal in that community, which is an AI component that I've been working with to kind of give my voice, but to be something that clients and others can work with in their parts work between sessions. So you can check that out too. But it's a great place for ongoing support. And so today, I'm going to talk a little bit about the part of me, and maybe you have it too, that just wants to stay in bed. And so let's just take a minute just to pause and breathe before we get into the content. Just notice how your body feels today, being in this space and this time just for you. It's always good for me to pause when I'm doing these things. Believe it or not, I've got parts too. And they can get extreme sometimes. And so today, you've probably heard me talk about parts in conflict and polarizations a little bit before, but today, gonna just specifically spend some time with the parts in conflict around rest and productivity. Uh, if you're like me, one part craves rest, quiet, and stillness. Another part fears being seen as lazy or unworthy. And these parts often activate around weekends or slow mornings or unstructured time and vacation. And I know deep down this isn't laziness when I can be in vacation mode, for example. It's parts work. The resting part may be protecting from burnout, trauma, or emotional exhaustion. And that pushing part may fear judgment, failure, or lost time. And from an IFS perspective, all parts are welcome and trying to help, Curiosity is more healing than control. Self energy brings clarity and compassion, but it's hard to practice this sometimes. Even though I live and breathe this stuff, it can still be hard. So, here are some questions that you may want to think about this week, and then I'll guide us in some reflection time and a meditation. When was the last time you felt torn between resting and doing? What does each part want for you? What might they be protecting? And in all of this, no, you're not alone in this push and pull. Even noticing it can be powerful. And so, what are your stay in bed moments? Which parts show up most in those moments? And before I lead us in the meditation, just this reminder: healing doesn't mean always being energized or productive. It means learning to listen with kindness. That's where transformation begins. And so let's spend some time now in our meditation. As we begin, just pause, settle in again, find a comfortable position, seated or lying down. Let your eyes gently close if that feels safe. Bring your awareness to your breath. No need to change anything, just notice. And inhale gently. Exhale slowly. Allow yourself to arrive. And begin to notice any sensations in your body. Greet yourself with a sense of warmth and curiosity. And just turn toward your inner world with a gentle interest. Invite a small drop of self energy, calm, curiousness, openness. And you can go as specific or as general as makes sense for you in this, but bring to mind a recent moment when you wanted to stay in bed longer, or maybe when you just really wanted to rest. Let yourself feel into that memory. Can you sense the part of you that craved rest, stillness, or escape? Where do you notice this part in or around your body? What does it feel like? Is it heavy? Or is there a little bit of calmness? Or is it tired, numb? Take a moment to welcome this part. Let it know you're here and willing to listen. And if you notice other parts that are jumping in, not wanting to listen or It's really not liking this part that wants to rest. See if they'd be willing to just give just a little bit of separation so you can spend time with this part that wants to rest. And maybe jot them down in your journal or on a note. And let them know that they can have some attention too at another time. But we get to know our parts better at one at a time and see if it's okay if we continue spending time with this part that wants to rest for now. And before you turn from that part that may be showing up and judging or responding or feels anxious about resting, just check in and see, where does this part show up in your body? What tone or feeling does it bring? Maybe we can give them both some attention for now and let them both of them know that you're not here to take sides. You're here to understand. Or if it makes sense to spend more time with one part, you can do that. But just seek to understand. Offer both parts or one part your presence. And ask gently, what are you afraid would happen if I rested too long? The one side may be afraid that the other part will get angry or too anxious about rest. And the part that doesn't like resting may say, yeah, you're never going to get anything done. Just spend some time with one or both of these parts for just a bit. And thank both parts for showing up today. Let the tired part know you understand it might be protecting you from exhaustion or overwhelm. You need it, but it doesn't have to work so hard. See if it could trust you a little more. Remind it that it's a part of you. And let the pushing part know you see how hard it works to keep you from falling behind or being judged. They're doing their best. They're younger, you're older. Remind them of that. And these are likely roles they never chose. And they have some agency and choice now. See if there's anything else before we begin to wrap up. And take a deep breath. Let your exhale carry away any tension. See if you notice more of that presence of self, that calm, clear, compassionate leader. You don't have to resolve this conflict today. Just holding space can be a lot. And then gently return to the present moment. Wiggle your fingers and toes. When you're ready, you can open your eyes if you've closed them. And offer yourself a small smile. A little bit of gratitude to you and all your parts for showing up today. And take this affirmation with you. I'm learning to listen without rushing. My presence is enough. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll hang around for just a bit. If you have questions, I'm glad to engage with those. Um, you can always send me an email to tim@faithfullygrowing.com. And if you check out the website, faithfullygrowing.com, which is the same as exploreifs.com, they'll get you to the same place. You can get access to some more of my meditations. If you haven't subscribed here, would love for you to do that. Thank you so much, Lynn. So glad to be back with you. And yeah, so grateful for this community. And when you're on the website, if you'd like to go deeper on your journey, check out the Faithfully Growing community. Um, $9 a month. It gives you a weekly drop in and other resources, including a Parts Pal, which is an AI that I'm working with to be able to help people in between sessions to do some parts work. And so let me know if you have questions. Tim@faithfullygrowing.com. But join me next week if you can. Do this each week, same time, which is 9 a.m. US Chicago time. All right. Take care and reach out if you need to.